What have you seen from a competitive dynamic, particularly in door-to-door pest control, that's taken place from 2014 to present? I'm talking both in terms of compensation, competition actually in markets, right?
It's interesting what's happening with door-to-door, and it's completely different. The last, 5-8 years has just changed because of the demand. So commission rates are a lot higher. Mm-hmm. Bonuses and incentives, companies are paying a lot more for those. So just generally, door-to-door sales are just costing more money.
Let's talk a little bit about those numbers. Like, for example, I guess when you think about maybe industry averages in 2014 versus 2022.
So, if we're talking about an industry average, so just across the board, you've got to be in the 80s. Now, you're going to have some companies that will have reps off of the proverbial pay scale.
Yep.
Well, where they'll start rookies at 20, 25, 30%. Mm-hmm. And, as their sales increase, so does their commission retroactively. But what's driving these higher commissions are these marketing teams. So you'll have an individual that can put together a sizable team, and he'll go out and he'll say, okay, I want, if there's a marketing deal, he's going to demand anywhere from 75 to 90, 95%, mm-hmm. make his cut off the top, and then pay his reps anywhere to 30 to 50.
How do those numbers work? So if I owned a pest control business and I said, hey, I'm not an LDS guy, I don't know anything about how that works, and I know it's not just LDS guys doing this, I realize that, but that's sure. The mainstay, right? Mm-hmm. That's part of the culture. And I want to do door to door. I'm probably going to be paying somewhere between 80% and 100%, somewhere in that range, right? I have a higher marketing team. How do I make those numbers work?
So if you're wanting to hire a marketing team, and I have several people that have hit me up looking for teams for their pest control companies for 2023, right now I'm not finding anything less than 95%, first of all.
Yep. So
to make it work, it really comes down to two things in my mind. Step one is really tough to do with a marketing company, and that is at the time the account is sold, vetting out the customer, going through welcome calls are used a lot, mm-hmm. to make sure that everyone's on the same page about what the service is, what the agreement is, and what the company's going to do, all of that. Just make sure that people were informed, the new customer was informed exactly as to what's going on. And then this second kicker, which is kind of related to the first, is the retention. So the idea is to get rid of the bad accounts that are going to charge off eventually, get rid of those really quickly. Mm-hmm. Don't waste resources on those, and get those customers. You got to get them to 18 months. That's my golden standard. If I can get somebody to 14, 16, 18 months, I'm going to keep them. Unless they move or somebody dies, at proof, we've realized that we get them. That's our magic number.
And on that topic, though, when you say 14, 16, 18 months, they're effectively out of their first year contract. So they've lived up to their commitment of the first year, and now they're basically month to month, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
They want it. They're paying for it. They could cancel it, but they haven't.
Exactly. And that's where a lot of the operations come into play. Like how you're charging your customer. We, over the last couple of years, have moved to monthly billing, where we've, separated the service from the actual billing of it. Mm-hmm. And I think it really fits with what the economy's doing with monthly subscriptions to pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Right? From Netflix to your car wash.
Yep.
And that's how we like to talk about it with our customers. Think of it like a car wash. Now, we're going to come every quarter or bi-monthly, whatever the service cycle is, but any time in between, we come for free. but obviously we, impute that into the annual cost. But yeah, after you get them through that first year, and that's why you have about a half of a year where you're really trying to figure out how dedicated they are to you. The interesting thing about pest control, Paul, is that we're not a sexy business. We're not a business that people want to think about, right? We're not selling designer shoes where people want to just look at pictures of bugs all day. Our job is best done when people don't think about us at all. And so as a company, after that first year, they can kind of drift into the background and just become something that they see on their monthly statement, but they don't think much about. That's the real hook to get into that, long-term retention.